Hell yeah, Blade. Senua has overcome the beast Garm down in that pit there, which was possibly also in some sense her father. Also, I say beast, right? But of course in actual Norse legend, Garm is a hound, sometimes also identified with Fenrir, possibly a wolf? Dog thing, anyway. What I thought there was not a dog. I don't know what it was, and I suspect that's because Senua didn't know what it was, because Druth didn't know what it was. He just called it a beast when he told the story. So, a beast it was. It had like 4 tusks, like a boar, but was mostly bear-shaped? I don't know. It was very Dark Souls. So, what is here? Center of the mountain. Broken bridges. I do not see Hela. What's this yelling?
Mother, I won't let the darkness trick me again. I know you're safe with the gods. I can feel Hela's gaze, searching for secrets inside of me. Secrets that even I can't see. I'm not here to fight my past. I'm here for Dillion. I will fulfill my vow, whatever the cost.
It's a noble stand, but fighting her past is pretty much what Senua's been doing up until this point, right? But if she's vowing to stop that, I am not going to object. We've got these fragment things here before. I've seen this in the past. Just need to see them from the right angle, and then you can focus on them to make them assemble into something real. Presumably, that broken bridge can be repaired. I broadly agree with her goals here. Finding a way to move on would be fantastic. I don't know how I'd do it. Probably not by conceptualizing myself to be on a quest into Norse hell. But if it works somehow, I'm all for it. Some kind of side passage. Or main passage. What are these little flecks of things boiling up out of it?
The bridge. She can't cross the bridge. It's broken. She has to fix it. It's too dangerous. She's done it before. She can't fix it. She's done it before. She can. She can. She'll do it again. How's she going to fix it? How will she do it? There must be a way.
Somewhere you have to try.
Get to the gate. She'll never make it.
I like the voice, which occasionally it seems to be sort of running around. This game has really excellent 3D sound if you have headphones on. And it's always like, hey, yeah. So it's like, in this case, it was like, Senua, you have to try. Come on, tell me things.
Northmen say the world will come to an end. They call this Ragnarok, the destiny of the gods. First, there will be a terrible winter, 3 years long.
Fimbulwinter.
Then mankind will turn on itself. Brothers will fight each other to the death, and people will forget what they owe their kindred.
Hell, that happens now.
Times will be hard. Crimes will be great. It will be an age of axes and swords. The wind will blow through abandoned halls. Wolves will walk where children played.
He does know what a wolf is.
The world will fall into ruin.
At least he knows there's something named a wolf. But he never described it, and they probably don't have wolves on the island of Orkney. Basically, I'm looking for places to get perspectives on that bridge to assemble the sections of it out. And this is possibly one of them. I'm not sure what this chamber is for, except that it's part of the general dungeon aesthetic of the interior of this mountain in Helheim. I guess a vast fortress of torture and corpses does seem like the sort of thing you'd find in Hell. Aha, it's almost right. Not quite. If I stand here? That's definitely not. Ah, there we are.
She did it. She did it.
Of course she did it. after everything up until this point, if the rest of the voices continue to doubt her, they can fuck off. I'm on Team Senua. Speaking as a voice in her head myself.
Surprise him!
I don't know about surprise him, but I can hit him with a sword.
Finish this!
You know what? The kind of heavy attack glowing thing that you can do with Gram. I never tried Gram on Garm. Whoops. Okay, I haven't fought before today and I was not really in the swing of things.
Go! Fight again!
Thankfully,
Spill their
focus
blood.
saves the day. I looked up the names Gram and Garm, and they are indeed spelled as similarly as they look, at least when transliterated into, English. Not so sure about Old Norse. Presumably it was written with those incomprehensible runes. Ah! I was trying to hit his shield and hit me with the shield. Ironic.
They're coming for you!
Because the thing is, you basically need your sword to be glowing, e.g. you're in focus mode, to hit the guys when they put the shadow thing on them, right?
Surrounded behind you.
Garm, it occurs to me, had a similar thing going on, where if you were focused you could attack him, otherwise you'd kind of just bounce off and hurt yourself. Perhaps I could have hit him with these attacks. Who knows? Oh dear. I know there's a guy behind me, but there's this other guy in the way. It's bad. It's all dangerous. I don't like any of it. Okay, I'm in a bad situation here. The thing is, I've mentioned before that unless you sort of had taken a lot of damage previously, you can almost always survive being on the ground like that. It's not as dangerous as it looks. It's dangerous, just not as dangerous as it looks. If it happens like twice rapidly in a row, that's when you're screwed. That's when you're going into rot arm territory. Not that I'm any clearer on how real that is. I did learn something from an external source outside of the game. I have learned that someone on the internet was mad about something when Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice was first released. Gamers were mad, specifically, on the basis that the game had some sort of lie about its gameplay. I think it may have been about fake permadeath. So, I suspect that if I heard correctly about that rumor, then that is confirmation that the arm rot thing actually doesn't end up killing you. That said, it has got quite far. So I'm not totally convinced here, but given the thing I experienced where it actually retreated for a while, a bug or not, yeah, I'm pretty sure now the game does not really erase your save file or whatever it was implying it would do. However, I did believe for a long time. The voices keep going on and on about stuff, and it's distracting because it's really interesting.
What can she give her? She could give her.
I'm trying to listen at the same time as talking.
She'd rather die.
This is actually important. Like, what do you do when you meet Hela?
She has a warrior soul. What more could she give?
The question of the quality of your own soul.
Of course she is, no matter what she does.
Several ways to go.
She can fight her.
This is one of them.
Fight her at Ragnarok.
She's a warrior.
I don't think Ragnarok is going to come into it. I hope it doesn't.
Hela will want to fight her.
That was a lot easier to cross than similar bridges in the past. I think that's because Senua was in her kind of confident mood at the moment.
Hela will want her soul.
Hela.
She can take Dillion's soul and lay him to rest. She can get his soul back.
Since the voices are in
She's
effect,
so close to saving
well,
Dillion.
arguably Senua debating with herself, although some of it is like not really stuff she wants per se.
It's broken. She has to fix it. It's too dangerous.
She's done it before. You have to fight her.
This question of whether she
Final
could,
battle.
whether she could, and whether she would give up her own soul
Final task.
for Dillian's.
Yes, it is.
I think she would if she could.
This isn't just a broken bridge, is it? Mother, you showed me how to see further. To see the hidden wonders in our world and explore new paths into the unknown. To lead so that others may follow, or to warn so that they may avoid. That is our gift and our duty.
That's
I'm not going to look away in fear anymore.
It's a much better way to look at it. From a modern perspective, it's not any more factually true, but seeing patterns in the world where other people don't, it's not like it isn't helpful.
She can do it.
She can do it.
She can still see the secrets of the gods. She thinks it's so special.
Okay, now they're just being patronizing.
She must see. She has the sight. She can see their secrets.
Got to find a way to get more perspectives. That's really... the game does a lot of cool stuff like that. Like, I just found myself entirely spontaneously saying I need new perspectives. That's one of the things it's trying to get across, clearly or unclearly, possibly, rather than clearly.
There's an illusion. She's found a way.
I don't think crossing part way across the bridge is going to help me here.
She can do it.
But it might. Maybe I can see something else from out here.
Finds herself.
Oh, hello.
It's there.
It did help. There's really a door. Aha. This is quite a complex puzzle by the game's standards. I was saying something earlier when I got distracted by the voices talking about Hela, the ruler of this place. Putative. But I can't remember now what I was going to say. Hopefully it was neither interesting nor important. This seems like the sort of place where people attack you.
The Northmen say the gods will fight their last battle at Ragnarok. Their watchmen will blow the horn that can be heard through the whole world. And Odin will speak with the severed head of Mimir, which gives him good counsel. The land of the giants will thunder with the sound of their army on the move. The gods will assemble. The dwarves will leave their stones. The frost giants will come from the east. The Midgard serpent will turn up the waves. Eagles will scream and tear at the corpses with their yellow beaks. The ship of the dead will set sail.
Druth's voice moving around as he kind of paces frantically there. All of these references to end times incline me to think that we are reaching an end here. Conclusion to this thing one way or another. A confrontation with presumably Hela herself for somehow Dillian's soul. I still have trouble conceptualizing what that means. The problem, right, is that he was killed by the Northmen who attacked him. And we saw in one particularly grueling flashback, or memory, we saw he was ritually sacrificed to Dillian in what I have since learned is called a blood eagle. A thing which, from the Northmen's point of view and also the Celts' point of view, sends his soul to serve their dark gods. And that is what Senua is trying to correct. But how do you actually do that? Like, oh, why is everything crawling with shadows again? That's why, I see. I'll ask a stupid question and you'll get an answer. The first time I met one of these guys, I thought, oh no, he seems quite dangerous. But It's actually kind of not. Because unlike many enemies, you can kind of just be beaten basically by attacking very fast repeatedly and doing an occasional dodge. You can't use parrying on him super easily, despite the slowness of his attacks. They're very strong. But you don't really have to use combos or heavy attacks or melee interrupt. Oh, there's two of them. Okay, this changes the game. This is a game changer. My game's being changed. I spoke too soon. I regret everything. I'm experiencing incredible difficulties due to my hubris. This is just like all those other times that happened. Ah, fuck. Wow. That's probably the most purely... the Rupsy. It started from scratch again? I don't know what caused it to do that, but it's not the first time it's happened, and now I'm absolutely convinced it won't actually ever reach her head. Good for Senua. So yeah, they created a false sense of tension when it, like really high stakes whenever you take a risk in the game by pretending at the start of it with the only bit of like user interface or in-game text that's ever been displayed. So you take it really seriously, right? Because the game, and this is a fantastic element of it, does not do a heads-up display. It does not show you game elements. It's purely immersive. Apart from that one time when it claims, you know, the quest will be over, you will die permanently. So I believed it for most of the game. It successfully tricked me. I've been owned, and I loved it. It's all good. I'm entirely happy to destroyed it this way. There's a new one here, but I can't focus on the new one yet because the old one is actually really injured. I can tell by what the voices were saying. So what I've got to do is, in order to not get into the position I was in before, I need to just slam in those sword hits, like that. Basically finish off the first guy, as I have now done, and restore the situation to one that is one that is you know, acceptable but still potentially dangerous. You get out of the way. They're actually really helpful in combat for the most part, but some of it is just distracting on purpose, I think. I mean, on purpose on the game design, this part.
You're close.
I don't know to what extent I should interpret those voices as individuals with personalities and goals. The narrator is different to the others. She speaks less often, sounds different, sounds less like Senua than the rest, and has a very distinct perspective. Sneaky, I don't really like it, but it's different. And worth listening to generally. Crap.
She's hurt. She's injured. She will
Yes.
make it.
Damn it. What I didn't do right there, after defeating the first two guys, the tough ones, so not tough, the big ones who aren't tough individually, I failed to switch into a different style of gameplay. I should have begun using combos and parries, which makes the kind of fight I was subsequently fairly easy. Instead, I continued my earlier tactics of basically spamming light attacks and dodges, which is good against these guys, and not good against multiple groups of enemies. It'll just kind of leave you out of position and likely to get hit by multiple people.
Find a good position and you let it behind you. It's nearly over. Finish it. He's gone.
Are these guys supposed to be Vikings or the dead? I don't know. They clearly have corpse-like qualities, but I think on some level there must also be Senua's interpretation of the terrible Northmen who attack and destroy the people's towns, and who I think she has never actually seen. Although I'm not sure. I suspect she's never. There's no direct evidence for it one way or other.
Take him down.
But for some reason, my headcanon, I guess, is that she has never actually herself encountered the Vikings.
Finished. Slow.
Okay.
Behind you.
Behind you? I shouldn't be rude. That one was genuinely useful. Taking for broken focus.
There are too many of them. Stay position.
See, the voices are more or less saying what I was before. There are too many of them. Find a better position, etc.
Finish this.
They do help.
Now.
I didn't think that guy was so close to death, but I guess I hit him with a bunch of strikes in focus mode by accident.
Focus now.
Alright. That's more like it. Gosh, I should not have had several deaths there, but I did. Can't do much about it. Now, show me this. Oh, that's easy. Bridge. Was that the final bridge segment? I feel for some reason like there have been all sorts of little byways to this area, side areas which I haven't visited. I suspect there's probably at least one more of them somewhere with probably more words about Ragnarok in it. For example, have I been up here? I don't know. I don't really need more words about Ragnarok though. Oh. Well, speaking of words.
The Northmen say that at Ragnarok the gods will face a ship full of their foes, which Loki has steered to Asgard. It carries the fire giants, the wolf that will eat the sun, and all kinds of dark creatures. Surt will join them with his sword of fire. The cliffs will crash, trolls will walk the land, men will tread the road to hell, and the heavens will split open.
I like this raving. It doesn't sound super healthy though. I wonder... I've got the distinct impression, I think it's been explicitly said, that Druth died when Senua met him. He may have already been dying, even though he saved her. It's unclear whether he literally saved her life or just helped her through a very tough time, which may have been the same thing in the end. But anyway, I wonder if as whatever was happening to him happened to him, he may have kind of become wilder, because throughout the game, the kind of reasonableness of his stories and his voice has fluctuated. And like at first he was mostly quite specifically friendly and helpful, but he eventually becomes more ranty, basically, even though there was a period in the trials where something's going wrong. Even though there was a period in the trials where we kind of regained some lucidity, we just kind of heard stories. What am I trying to say here? It seemed like that was like a temporary recovery or whatever, and a lot of the later parts of the game have involved Druth telling these wild, entertaining tales. Am I going in circles? I'm going in circles. I don't know. We don't know enough about Druth, basically. Only Senua's quite fragmentary perspective on her interactions with him. Not a bad character, though. Well, on the face of it, all I've got to do at this point is there are more bridges, but this is the main one. Head down here. These doors, I didn't try opening them before. Maybe I should have. Did I listen to this before?
The Northmen say that each god will do battle at
No,
Ragnarok.
apparently not.
Odin will fight the monstrous wolf and be killed, but his son will avenge him and plunge his sword into the heart of the beast. Freyr will face Surt, but he had given his sword away for love, and without it, he cannot defend himself against the flames. Thor will smite the Midgard serpent to no avail. The sun will grow black, the earth will sink into the sea, the stars will disappear, fire and water will meet, steam will shoot up, flames will play against the sky, the heavens and earth and all the world will be burned, all the gods will be dead, and the warriors of Valhalla and the people everywhere. Senua, prepare yourself for Ragnarok. For it is nigh.
That probably puts images in your head. So I'm going to try and open this door. Oh, I can't. Well, that answers that. Looks like it might lead back out into the beach area, actually. Nevertheless, I have a fairly clear destination in mind here. That destination is forwards. Got a skull back. Got no more beast. Got another bridge to fight our way across. Whoops.
She's injured. She can still do it. She's hurt. She won't make it.
You can get hit while focusing if you're dumb. So try not to.
Don't let them surround you.
When they're guarding like that, I could break it with a melee attack. But I could also do this, I think. Yeah, that works. I wonder how that works on the shield guys. Acceptably.
It's nearly over. Finish it. She's scared.
Whoa. I don't want this guy behind me, as he's looked like he might have been about to be. I guess the other one's far enough away that I can... I bet the other one charges. I'm vaguely worried that might happen, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm glad we get... Ah, no. Yeah, the other one did charge after all, but it turned out okay. No, it didn't, actually. It's not okay. There's nothing is okay. Okay, I need to finish this guy off. Like that. That's what I needed to do. Okay. Now I'm in with a better chance.
Defend yourself. Nobody cares.
That's completely useless. Okay, I need to actually move in this direction for a while, because otherwise I'd have I'd be totally surrounded. Still a chance that if I don't kill some of these guys quickly, but I can kill the smaller ones fairly fast if I need to. Oh shit.
Get up quick!
Movement in combat when there's a whole bunch of guys is really quite fraught because of how it works. Basically,
Take him! Go again!
basically you can't actually move except with respect to an enemy you're locked onto. It's lock on only, strafe only, but you can change which enemy you're locked onto. So you move relative to people. So it's actually really interesting tactically to this fight with like 6 people at a time poses challenges. But once you've learned the system enough, you can totally do it, as I am hopefully doing. These guys are really dangerous. They throw weapons, they shadow fire themselves. But you can do that to them. In fact, you can even do it on the ranged attacks. Ah, fuck, there's more. Oh my god.
Remember the warrior trials.
Oh jeez. So many. If I did have the ability to just like go into free camera mode or whatever, I would just run across the bridge and try and get away with them. But tried to do that. It worked this time. Unfortunately, once you've been hit really hard for a while, you're very, very slow. Although it seemed like the enemies kind of kindly paused and stopped attacking me there, so that kind of mitigated any problems. I've reached the door thing I was trying to get to, but
Don't let them get behind you. What's up?
unlimited Vikings. Or Viking monsters. So see, what I did there was I basically used camera lock-on and dodges to reposition myself around a group of enemies, which seemed ultimately indicated because I was getting surrounded. Backed into a corner was the problem.
You're close.
All the messages like "you're close," etc. Oh fuck, there's even more of them. This is actually terrible. This is absurd. I don't mean it's terrible like it's unfun or bad. It's fun, but I'm having difficulty succeeding at it. That's what I'm saying.
Remember your training.
Can't block kicks. Don't even try.
He can read.
This is many. Ah! I needed to get that hit in while focusing, but now I'm...
End it. No, it's nearly the end.
Don't tell me it's nearly the end, that's what I'm worried about.
You won.
You've won is a bit strong. God. This is real Helheim hours.
Take him down now. They're overwhelming.
No more pessimism. Justified as it may seem to be.
Use your sword.
Oh, what? That guy literally just appeared behind me, I think.
Behind you.
At least I know I've become okay at the combats this week. What I don't know is whether these guys are even finite at all.
She's got her sword. Play your go. Attack. Behind you. Punch it.
What? I think more of them just appeared.
She's so weak, they can see her.
She's here. The path to Hela. Behind you. We can sense her.
The path to Hela. Should I?
She's getting closer to Hela. She's going to die. I'm scared.
Shh. They're hinting at something.
She sacrifices herself. She sacrifices herself to die. We don't want to die. So turn back. It's too
The voices
dangerous.
are hinting at something. Is it about? Is it? Could it be that this fight is actually? Do you have to die eventually? No, I think it's finite. I think it's just very long. I think because like they're talking about the door, the path to Hela, about how Hela is the goddess of death. Maybe to reach her, you have to die.
There's too many of them.
I don't think that's it.
Behind you. Come this far, she needs to keep going.
Yeah. So just agreeing with the voice that says she has to keep going. I think. Well, that's it. This is literally the last enemy, I think. Aha. I refuse to die to literally the last enemy. See, there were merely a very large number of them. Wow. Okay, so presumably the reason the voices got all het up there is simply because I'd got close to the door even though the fight wasn't over yet. Or because it was nearly over. Who knows? Who knows what excites them? Let's contemplate this for a moment. Beyond this door... Actually, I have absolutely no idea what's beyond the door. Let's stop contemplating.
Wait. What?
What happens when she dies?
What happens to us?
What happens to us?
We die too.
Do we die too?
We
I
die
don't want
too.
to die.
I don't want to die.
We'll all die someday.
I don't want to die.
And when everyone's gone, even the gods will die.
I don't want to die. We don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
Senua, stop.
Senua,
Turn back.
Stop. Stop her.
Well, who am I to argue with all these incredible cowards in her
What
head?
happens to us?
Time to stop playing for now. I also don't want to die.